of course, the physical armor from the War Cry, giving you good protection against the Omni Slash, and it just in general, he's a hero that can stand toe-to-toe with Juggernaut while he's spinning and just man-fight him down.
One of the downsides of Sven is that he is a pretty slow hero in the regards that he does take time to build up. He just amasses to a point where he's kind of unstoppable. So I think you want to hit pretty hard on that like 15 to 20 minute window, try and get an advantage. And then once you're able to build things like Force Staffs and Ghost Scepters, that particularly helps. Solar Crest as well. Defensive Solar Crests are pretty big.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that as a general point, but I have to add to that is so much harder to do now against this Sven after the changes to his ult in 7.06. He no longer really has to build HP items at all because the bonus strength, I mean, that's 320 extra HP with level 1 ult at level 6 that he gets now from that God strength. It almost feels like a Sven needs one less item than before to fight effectively.
Yeah, Magnus and Jug, these two have been played together previous patch, especially by IG, I think every single time they could. Also, Juggernaut is a natural diffusal blade carrier, which works well against the Warcry from Sven. But overall, IG's lineup right now looking really strong. As Cap mentioned, they left Sanking maybe as a position 4 or position 3. And now they decided to go for Magnus against Rubik, maybe Jakiro. Well, Magnus can do something in the lane. They have good kill potential from Alliance, but still he can switch back to Forest, just farm up, buff Juggernaut later on, and they just dominate from there. We know how good Juggernaut B-God is.
I'm starting to get concerned about this Alliance lineup. As Cap mentioned, it seems a little bit slow, and then you have the supports who aren't necessarily the best at roaming together as a duo and really like setting the pace for you, so I'm a little bit worried. And then we've seen the Rubik Clockwork a few times today. Like the combination of these two heroes ends up feeling a bit underwhelming later on against big control in team fights. So when we talk about Magnus and Juggernaut, this kind of signature combo that IG wrote in 7.05 to great success, I think this is very comfortable for them, and a lot of ulti-based damage coming up from them, but also better control. So I think this IG lineup is looking scary and scary. I wonder if they'll go back to say Alina or another staple that they were running before and almost make it look like a 7.05 lineup.
Now this is not, the Tinker is not necessarily a signature hero for Limp. This is an interesting wrinkle that they're showing, possibly in response to some of the concerns you were talking about the Sven being a little slow. Tinker, tremendous D push, and IG's going to, look, this is just a comfort lineup from IG. They are so good with these 5 heroes. It's a new patch, but man, what do you guys think here?
I'm going to have to go with IG here. I think this is, as you said, a very comfortable and familiar lineup for them. I expect, again, the 2-3-4 battery to really have a lot of impact on this game. So I'm going to go with IG.
Yeah, with last pick, Ember Spirit, they have some vision for Tinker. If he goes in the trees, he can cut it with his ultimate. Also, later on, if Magnus gets some farm, Shadow Blade, Force Staff, I think they will have enough for that.
Yeah, Magnus means they don't even fall off very quickly. If this game really extends out, if Tinker's able to delay the game, delay the high ground pushes, it's okay. Like, IG aren't pressured. They have both an Ember and a Jug with a Magnus that will scale really well into the late game. I definitely got to go IG.
All right. Well, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, our eGamingBest.com odds. Our panel likes IG 4-0. I will make it. The bettors like IG. Let's see if Alliance can keep their tournament hopes alive. One more time, over to our casters. Here are Luminous and Merlini.
Good thing that our EGB bettors are on IG because they know who is about to win. And they're on IG side. I gotta say, I agree with the panel as well. I feel like the IG draft is very much so in their comfort zone. But Ben, what do you think?
XSS best Magnus. He turns Magnus into Swagnus at his finest.
Wait, you're saying he is better than the son of Magnus himself?
I think so.
Damn, man, that's a lot to say.
It is.
Don't let S4 hear you say that.
As far as I played it recently, that much anyways. But XSS, he was a god with Magnus at DAC, and they continue to pick it for him. It it's first ban-worthy material, I think, against IG. Maybe not in this patch now that he's been nerfed a few times, but still is pretty good, and it gives you that extra little bit of oomph that you need to kill the Sven.
Yep. I feel like this game is going to be, well, if IG play it the way they want to play it, this game is going to be relatively slow. Obviously, Alliance with the clockwork, they want to drive up the tempo, get a lot of pickoff. And one of the things I do want to touch on is the fact that the rocket flare plus missiles is going to be fairly annoying in any kind of long, drawn-out battle. Last game, we saw a lot of Roshan camping from both teams. So I feel like perhaps that is going to give Alliance a little bit of edge. They have better split pushing, they have a little bit better catch. So we'll see if Alliance could use that to their advantage.
I don't like the anti-synergy between Clockwork and Sven, though.
That's true. That's true.
Generally, when you pick Clockwork, you have heroes that can attack from outside the cog, or heroes that can get inside the cog very easily, like Ember Spirit, let's say. But
True.
Clockwork plus Sven it's not going to make Loda's life easy at all, I would say.
Maybe EGM could help him out by displacing the hero outside of cogs, taking advantage of the mana burn.
Potentially, but you're talking about like Jug and Ember Spirit. Those heroes don't really care about.
Ooh, the
a
courier
Rubik.
snipe from EGM. He's going to run past the tree lines, and that will be easy net worth for the team here. And a South Knight.
Plus 625 gold for Alliance.
Yep.
That's a good start.
So let's pretend that didn't happen, right? How is the matchup in a true 1v1? Well, we're not going to get a 1v1. EGM bullying OP pretty hard here. And I wonder if he actually ate that tree, or was it Limp that ate it? I think
it was Limp.
Yeah, Limp ate the tree. So he doesn't even get the double regen from there.
I don't think OP dropped it, though.
Oh, you think Limp dropped it to your block? I'm pretty sure it was OP that dropped it. But
I think he...
I mean, it's not the biggest deal either way.
Tinker still has his tree eater on, so it's definitely Tinker that ate it. Yep. EGM is being a nuisance in mid.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good CS for Ember, all things considered. But now that Limp has this full wave and another one behind, looks like Ember is going to have to walk
the walk of shame.
all the way home.
I mean, this is where if you had that shrine available, you will still be able to stick out on that lane a little bit. But yeah,
Sad times.
EGM single-handedly winning the mid lane. You can ask for more from your support there.
Yep, and Limp's wave is in a very good spot right outside his tower, and he is getting a ton of CS. 11-4, that's disgusting.
Yeah, let's not forget the fact that he is going to be getting a little bit more deny as the game moves on, so he is going to accelerate in terms of level. That Marching Machine will get leveled up, and like you've been mentioning, stack time, so they're going to get Limp's BLT online very quickly.
Yep, Limp is also one full level ahead of OP in terms of levels, and EGM is going to pick up this haste rune on top, or just give it to Limp. Oh man, Limp with the haste rune, that's even worse for OP.
Yep.
A terrible matchup coming out from him.
I mean, I don't think there should be any solo kill potential here, even with the haste. Like, OP should like stay back, but
It's just bad because it probably guarantees him the 4-minute rune too.
true.
And OP's, it's just not safe for him, really.
I mean, if Limp does get a couple more right click going on, he will get a solo kill. So you did say that you think XSS is the best Magnus, you know, maybe in recent memory. What makes his Magnus different? What makes his Magnus better?
He doesn't hesitate with his RPs. It's much different than his Enigma. I think Enigma, he's very careful about when he casts it, just because he's worried about it getting canceled. But with Magnus, he doesn't hesitate at all, and I think that's a sign of a good Magnus. You see a good opportunity, you just go for it before the other team can react in time. He's also, I think, the fastest Magnus when it comes to blink skewering, turn back with the RP, and skewer back. He does it so quickly that the opponents don't generally have time to react. Like, it's very hard to get a telekinesis off versus that sort of quick play from the
Mid lane OP getting lift right back, but the TPs are coming in. They maybe they mess up the TP timing a little bit. In fact, both TPs will get canceled. But back to your point, I mean, he has to be very fast this game because EGM will be looking for a spell steal opportunity.
But he wasn't able to get a Ravage last game, so...
I believe you were mentioning that perhaps it is a bit easier to steal the RP. Because I think Magnus does have a little bit longer of a cast animation.
And you can lift him after it. When you're against Ravage, you're not in range to lift. Because you'll get Ravaged.
You'll get stunned.
So most of the time what you'll see is Rubik's will lift Magnus out of the RP so he can't skewer back and then spell steal while he's lifted.
Right.
But it depends on Rubik having Blink and being able to anticipate it quickly enough. And oh my god, another great rune for him.
So I do want to point out that this is very reminiscent of the build that Miracle used yesterday when he was playing the Tinker. Going full laser rocket. He does have one skill point saved up here, but I think the second level of missile, very imperative here to cancel out the Flame Guard as they were making a lot of kind of aggressive play onto the Ember Spirit. Hasn't really resulted in a kill, but Limp is really winning the lane through attrition. The 2 runes definitely very helpful.
Look at the CS now, 31-7 to 13-2. That is, oof, that's awful.
I mean, officially moving on to defecating status, because I think anytime you're doubling up on a CS on the mid lane, you're just getting wrecked.
Yep. The experience is not actually that bad, though. Ember Spirit is almost level 5 because he is going for neutrals, and Tinker is still level 5.
Bottom lane, Jonas spins to start things off. Where's the barrel strike through? Bobuka getting juked out on the tree line here, and Burning does not chase. Meanwhile, simultaneously, looks like Q got first blooded by laser rockets. I imagine Cogs is going to hit on Burning. This is going to be a return kill here. Burning, unless he gets a big crit, he will not get a Jonas. Making it happen within the tree lines. Huge play here coming out from Alliance.
But Boca not even eating the tree. Too cool. Too cool to tango.
You have been denied.
And Limp also just got sent right back after getting the kill. So that's actually good for him getting glimpsed back there, I would say.
It's like, yeah, I didn't miss a single beat when it comes to, you know, CSing on the mid lane. Now, I think, though, even though Ember is falling behind right now, he's one of those mid heroes that can catch back up just via kills, right? Triple Remnant, you find a good opportunity. You could easily get yourself like a double kill in a team fight, and you're kind of, you know, right back in it. So I wouldn't be too worried for OP, but of course, you know, you are losing the lane quite heavily right now to the Tinker.
Yep. Because that's just...
Oh, here comes yet another play here on Jonas. The Cogs will not push him out, but he is juking. The Lightning giving a little bit of vision. What a bro strike through the Cogs here. That is going to be a kill. Nice glimpse back as well. EGM does have the boots, does have a magic stick, but will need to have some fancy footwork to get himself out of this one. Face boot being activated by Burning. Right click, maybe a deny, maybe a deny. Is he going to make the play? No, he is not. Double kill here for the Emperor himself.
That was definitely not the telekinesis to pull him closer to the clockwork so that he already had a good cog. He pushed the Sand King away. He got his mana burn a little bit, but EGM lifted him through the cogs, closer to clockwork, and then he stunned the clockwork immediately after. And clockwork died as a result. And I would say Rubik died as a result too, because then they could just turn all his attention to him after the glimpse. So
yeah,
that was a double whammy for EGM's telekinesis right there. Or TK.
TK.
I call it TK something. Telekinesis is a mouthful.
You know, the Chinese call Tinker the TK as well, so that might get confusing here.
Wow.
At Shanghai.
They have 2-letter names for everything, don't they? Like Clockwork is CW?
Yeah, I guess
Or
so.
is it CG for Clockwork Goblin? I think it's
CW.
Yeah.
But that's also confusing, because WC is the bathroom.
They don't say WC, do they?
They do.
They do? Oh, okay.
In my pub games, they're like, pause, WC. And then, you know, we pause.
Why don't they say it in Chinese?
WC is just easier to type, I guess.
That should help.
Cool.
All right, rotation up top here by Bobuka, but I don't know what he could do here. And this is, I think, one of the earliest BOT I've seen in a long while. 7 minutes and 30 seconds BOT.
Yeah, and he has level 8 with the rearm already, and 1 level 1 mark, so he can start farming it up. That's ridiculous.
Do you like him just kind of AFK farming here, or like start getting into little skirmishes with his clockwork and stuff?
You definitely go for skirmishes, I think, before Magnus gets his Blink Dagger. You have a lot of room, and you don't want to give Ember time to catch up.
Okay. Well, I mean, he has...
Oh, he goes... Oh, my God. He goes for the play. Holy shit, OP.
Well, OP is not going to get...
Dude, he had the chains. This is a level 1 Sleight of Fist. That is hard to pull out, the level 1 Sleight into Searing, because the radius is tiny. And then he remnanted and stole the rune right under Limp's nose. That's a pretty big play.
Bottom lane, Yolans. Ooh, Cogs trying to push Burning out, but the Omni Slash...
Oh, farm those Cogs.
Yeah, man. Burning's been
gold.
Very good on that. Like, he is not letting anything loose. Not denying them creeps, though, for that extra EXP. EGM coming on the back line here. Multiple TPs are coming in. Burning on the run here. He will need to spin for this one. He spins. And are they going to keep on chasing Q? With the rocket giving them the vision. That will be the kill here. But, I mean, Loda did have to port to the bottom side here for this.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. XSS is pretty happy with this. But Alliance still farming way better than IG right now. Stacks from Sven, stacks from Tinker. Looks like they are going to get a fair amount of damage on this tower on bottom level 3. Liquid Fire from Jakiro. Jakiro has a way different build than normal this game. He went 1-1-3-1, not the 3-0-3. So he has that extra utility, which I think is good.
Maybe it's a fair point to say that, look, there might not be a lot of fighting, at least from the Jakiro this game on. His primary goal is to be knocking down towers, and the 1 point into Ice Path might be good for, let's say, stopping a Sand King from running away or
locking down the Ember Spirit.
Even though it's not exactly the best than ever, it's better than nothing.
Pretty good, yep.
Well, IG is going to be looking for a tower trade up top here. I guess for IG, all you want to be doing is trading right now because they are a little bit behind.
Ooh, Handskin. Guy has to be careful about getting glimpsed back. Doesn't want to deal with that, Jazz.
So one of the points that the panel make was that, it's okay for IG to fall a little bit behind because of power of the Empower from Magnus, but can Alliance just turn the heat on soon? Because Clockwork Hook is online. Sven could go into a Blink Dagger to be extremely aggressive. You always have a +1 from the Tinker. Doesn't actually have to worry about that?
A little bit, I would say, but they don't have good tower hitters aside from Jakiro. In general, you want a core because they're much more resistant to dying. And they also don't have a good Roche lineup on Alliance. So I think, yeah, they have a pretty sizable net worth lead at the moment, but converting that into good map control is mostly going to happen through stacking and farming, I would say, as opposed to forcing objectives around the map.
Well, I guess if you're IG fan, you're fairly happy because it sounds like XSS is going to be able to get to his Blink. Same thing for Boboga, at least eventually.
Yeah, it's time. There they go. Looks like they are kind of grouped up to smoke on the Radiant side, but nope, they are not. I thought they were.
Backing it off.
Wow, he's poor.
Who is poor? The Ember?
Poverty Ember.
Yep.
Has Empower, though.
I mean, Empower could only do so much, right? And I think you're mostly giving it to the Juggernaut.
50% of nothing is still nothing.
Oh, man. I mean, I keep mentioning the point that Ember can make a comeback because of the Remnant plays, but so far hasn't really found the opportunity to make any plays if you're
It's
IG.
about the Magnus here.
Yeah.
Magnus needs to be able to get big RPs without getting them stolen and without getting caught out by the Clockwork. And it looks like they are going to try and make a play before the Magnus does have Blink, a little bit of space creation for him over here. However, no hero is in sight for them to get caught. They're really hoping that Sven or someone super easy to kill is doing a stack, but IG is not going to be so fortunate. Sven is up on the top lane, and XSS is in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, let's see how good his map awareness is. He's juking in the corner here. Of course, Rocket can give vision, cooling down in about 2 seconds. Let's see. Jonas with the guess? No, they just guessed completely wrong. But EGM perhaps has the vision. Skewer away.
That was so important for him.
Yeah.
He's at 1,800 gold right now. They would have loved to get that kill right now, and they can sense how close he is to getting that Blink Dagger, and it looks like the Jakiro will be able to TP out safely, so no kills happening yet around the map, still keeping it a low kill count.
Of course, for viewers that are perhaps just joining us, Alliance has their back against the wall. This is their elimination match. They need to win this game to force it to a game 3.
And if they lose, they are out of the tournament.
Yeah. IG, of course, will be moving on and will be playing against tomorrow if they win this game. And so far, I would say, okay. I mean, we did see one of the earliest BOT timing, but the nature of Tinker as a hero is that kind of still takes you a while to actually...
It's because he committed a lot of points to the laser and the rocket as opposed to the March. At level 8, he only had 1 point in March. So a lot of times you'll see 2-2-3-1 instead of the 3-3-1-1. And not having that level March, especially in a slow-paced game like this where you're farming a lot, then you want that high-level March ASAP. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I asked you whether, perhaps he should be just teleporting in lane, rocket spamming people, but...
There's no one for another rocket here. Nobody on IG is showing up in lanes right now.
Not right now, at least. XSS, does he have his Blink available? Yes, he does, and now it's perhaps time to fight. Burning walks up the... Okay, Cog's going to push him away. Maybe a Blink skewer play by XSS. Oh, Burning! Is he going to just get died to these neutrals? Clockwork Hook available here. Rocket flying in. Clockwork Hook! What an aim here by Jonas! The hero of Sweden, the Swedish sniper, finds a kill.
What an amazing hook shot.
That was max range.
That was max range without vision.
Yeah. He Rocket Flare earlier, but yeah, I think he lost vision from the Rocket Flare already. Well, somewhere out there, Armada looking on, nodding. that was a sick snipe.
Indeed. Are you sure it's Clockwork's not first ban material?
Maybe it is. But these ganks have been few and far between. Alliance need to speed up that tempo. XSS just ignoring the Clockwork, moving forward. Where is he going towards to? Now triple running back in. They see TK, and TK is dead. Notice how I said TK, not Tinker.
I knew who you were talking about after about a second.
There you go. Burrow Strike onto Twin Head Dragon. And, well, the Dragon will be picked off. OP finds himself a double.
So, you know that smoke gank earlier that they tried to look for the Sven? They did get that Observer reward down during that smoke, and that's what allowed them to get that Tinker kill. So, you know, looking for opportunities and making something out of very small things in the game.
Yep.
IG bringing themselves back. Net worth slowly swinging back in their favor, especially if they get this tower scot-free. This is going to be tough. Tinker's up in 3.
I'm not sure whether they can as well, but on the right side here, it looks like they will get themselves one hook out of the prison, but still in a little bit of trouble. The kinetic field
They're still RP. This could be a disaster.
Well, you know, he's got the dot on him right now. Shrine is going to rejuvenate everyone back up, but I think the critical thing is that tower did go down. Did they get the last hit, Ben, if you could quickly check? Oh, the deny here going to Loda, so pretty critical. But still, that's going to make the future smoke gank here a little bit easier for IG, excuse me, to kind of invade into the Alliance jungle.
And they did manage to de-ward that ward that was very close to the Ancients. So now Baboka very close to his Blink Dagger, just 75 gold away. OP, yeah, he doesn't have any items, but Ember surprisingly still does a lot of damage without items. And now that Burning is farming up with Empowered, he will be able to catch it with the Sven at some point if they can manage to stack up.
Yep.
But now look at his net worth, 500 gold to Alliance after getting that 8-minute BOTs.
Well, we're going to see a little bit more fighting this game because we just had a massive amount of Blink Dagger being picked up. Tinker just picked up his. Sven has his. Of course, the Sand King also has his next to XSS. So both teams will be looking to make some sort of smoke play. Now, during the draft, you and I were talking and you were saying that if Burning goes for the very standard...
smoke from the right side. Burning could
vision
be in a ton of trouble.
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely dead here. Completely chain stun. God Strength activated. Grey Storm here coming out, but I don't think they want to take that fight. Q will go down. Good glimpse here, actually pulling Loda away from the rest of his team. And Alliance will get the 2 pick here, and perhaps even the tier 1.
He got baited by the creeps. Spinning to kill them, and that will be a free tower for Alliance. As you mentioned, things are going to start to heat up here, and Alliance are not going to make the same mistake as last game. They do want to keep on fighting here.
I don't know why he's playing so aggressive. That stun will be heat-seeking, and they go in on the back line, though. Huge epicenter. The RP's going to get her, but he skewer away from the magic damage nuke. Everyone's still alive right now. Got to get those kills, clean them up with that broomstick. They get Loda back in. He is going to go down the Burning. Oh, just setting up the kill for the carry. No problem. Hanskin's on the run, though. And I think he'll make it home. Q chasing away. Just kidding. Boboga on the chase here. The Caustic will be applied. Hanskin should pop under the shrine, question mark. Okay, he can maybe turn around with the Lake of Fire. Yeah, he is going to get the kill. But Boboga might go down here. Yes, 1v1 trade on the backline. Burning gets one more kill. And the lack of communication from IG from that critical moment, if the skewer wasn't there, that was a clean sweep for IG.
What a great epicenter by Baboka.
True.
And looks like Tinker did not die during that engagement, so Limp is going to be huge.
Stolen glimpse here from EGM, and the Rockets come in. All right.
So what, 4 for 4, I think, at the end of the
Already
day?
more kills than last game.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
And now Magnus is going back for the Hand of Midas. Oh, so not if Loda could say something about it.
Okay, would it be enough? Skewer away. Maybe TK coming in from the back line. Oh, the hook. But XSS had the Blink Dagger back on CD and will be able to escape.
Dude, XSS is just dodging bullets right before the key timings, too. Right before his Blink Dagger, right before his, oh man, right before his Midas.
Yep. Yeah, he is going to finish that Midas, in fact. And we might get a little bit low here as both teams are recharging their cooldowns a little bit.
Crowd's definitely excited about this one.
Yeah, and I could tell that crowd is on both sides, not just really cheering for IG because it's a Chinese team.
Jakiro owned right there. The one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
He was so low, that earn play.
I mean, the Liquid Fire, like, surprisingly has so much attack slow on that. That Sand King was, dude, he was trying to get that, the Scorpion claws on, but not today. Mid lane. Burning's got to respect the Blink Dagger from Loda. Like, a Blink stun on top of him, he's dead.
He's very tanky, though. He did
Perhaps
go for
just
the
a
health
bait.
talent.
EGM going to get caught here. He will lift, and there's a glimpse away, of course. Storm is going to be on top of Jakiro, but I don't think they want to follow up on that Loda. Waiting on the wings here. He jumps in onto the backline. Sand King. Oh my god, the damage is going to be there. The Burrow Strike, the RP. Will it get stolen? I'm not too sure. Shockwave does fly out. The spin damage onto EGM. They finally get that pesky Rubik on the back line. Laser Rocket flying out. OP dropping low, but Limp on the chase. He needs to blink again. The jukes. No juke for OP.
All those trees down just made his life so much more difficult over there. And 2 supports for Corrin to support. Slight win for Alliance there. But I think Ember Spear did manage to spend all his gold before he died, and he still will be able to pick up his Veil very shortly after respawning. So looks like he has recovered from his disastrous start. Rubik had a big hand in that. And I think it's super important to kill Rubik here because he is a big counter to the RP if he can get his Blink Dagger. Without Blink Dagger, it's so difficult to do that.
True. Like you said, you have to lift him after he RPs, and that really shortens your ability to act if you don't have the Blink available.
So Tinker is building Aether Lens with the right recipe. Nice. That's always a worry.
All right. I mean, don't people just see it, shift click?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like buy one of the items casually though, without looking, without thinking about it, because you've just been used to doing it for so long. So the mass strength build from Sven, as we can see from his talents, it's the way to go with God Strength.
All right, Burning, spinning from a camp. Not afraid, despite what happened there last time. And this is how Alliance need to play. They need to be aggressive. They need to be forcing the issue.
They're trying to fight without RP.
Yep.
But I don't know if IG want to take that fight. They just need to wait 15 more seconds until RP is up. And now might be the time for them to go. But Alliance have set a good foundation of vision on this south side of the map.
Uh-oh, that is a Ember Spirit TP on the back line. In fact, they might get cut off here. The Cogs actually pushing him away, and that's a lack of synergy that you were mentioning. Epicenter gets channeled on the back line. Onto the Sven we go. The Diffusal Blade and the Omni Slash flying out against Loda. Loda first one to drop OP moving forward. Chain coming off cooldown in a couple of seconds. Jonas looking to hook out, but the body block here by OP, making sure they get the 1 kill. Just kidding. Wait, he's walking away. XSS cleans up the kill on the backline. Handskin. Okay, that's a pretty good stun, but no running from the 3-headed dragons of IG. Oh, that was a little bit awkward here for the dragon. He will get pushed away.
3 heads is greater than 2.
That's true. Checks out.
Oh, IG, that Disruptor did so much. They weren't able to burst him down quickly enough. And now that Sven's have started turning away from the Echo Saber build in favor of the Mask of Madness, Echo Saber may have killed him earlier. It's way more damage up front, but not as much damage during a sustained fight. But some of these fights, you need to be able to kill people before they get any of their ultimates off. They got locked inside Aesthetics and just ate an Epicenter, and Sven does not have BKB to tank up that sort of damage.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. Clockwork, Sven, not a thing that you'll see too often. And I was like, maybe Rubik could help out, but obviously Rubik was not there. And Loda would just... It's like, bro, what are you doing, man? You're pushing me away. I can't actually drop my big sword on him. And they definitely, did lose a lot of that from that engagement. Clockwork Hook, though, will be on OP. Push him away here, trying to burn his mana. OP does not care. In fact, he is going back in. OP?
Okay.
All right.
Did not have a Remnant down.
And that was a tap out.
Actually, he did have a Remnant down, but... Oh, he didn't have enough mana. I'm looking at his mana right now. He had 114 because he went for the Searing Chains.
So why do you walk back in?
Because he thought he had enough mana. He didn't do the maths, dude.
That was like... I don't know what that was about.
Gotta bring your calculator, man.
I mean, he should have a built-in calculator because, But
Because what?
because he's Asian. It's all built into all
He
of
wasn't
us,
even
right?
close though. He was 36 mana off.
You know, sometimes you forget to carry the 0 or the 2 or whatever. So mismath it is possible. But I mean, how consequential are these random picks? Let's put it in the grand scheme of things. We haven't seen either team even try for the Roche yet.
No,
we haven't seen
no
a lot
objectives, but
Yeah.
there's a DD on top that perhaps the Lions wouldn't have been able to get, or I mean, they might not even get it now. But Roshan is up. That DD is often a good sign for them to take Roche. Constant laser on the Roche with liquid fire. You're not taking that much damage. It could be a good time for them to go. And it looks like the Lions are smoking up and going in. Also, OP was very close to his Blink Dagger, but Boboka, ooh.
Okay, he's on the high ground right now, but still in a very awkward position. Back to the low ground you go. EGM and Jonas comboing up to find multiple kills.
And still trying to farm with the Blink Dagger on OP, and looks like IG are not in a position to defend this. I do see the ping out that they want to defend it, but I don't think that's happening.
No, definitely not without the Sand King. I mean, we've seen what Boboka was able to do with his epicenter in these team fights, and I really think they will lack the damage without his contribution.
And Loda's huge now. Now that he has BKB, he doesn't worry about the kinetic field and all that other nonsense that Sven doesn't want to deal with.
I mean, even though IG is currently weaker by quite a bit compared to Pro Alliance, like, are they worried at all? Because every time I look over to the network prep, it's leading, they're going up, and I can't help but shake the feeling that this is very similar to Game 1 and how the pacing of the game is going.
Oh man, that strength gain with double damage. My god, he's hitting for 650.
Yeah,
What?
this is level 2 ultimate, by the way, so OP, is he going to make the steal here? He's going to try to think about it. Kinetic field, giving a little bit of vision. Maybe they can storm on top of that as well. Okay, on the backline, Jonas making things happen. That static storm did nothing. BKB activated on Loda. On the backline, XSS waiting and thinking. Jonas will be going down. And now RP onto 2. And now they are in a lot of trouble. Remnant flying in. Loda dead. Kima Knight, he's BKB's on cooldown. I think he might be dead here. Skewer away, Burrow Strike on top. They're completely controlling him. That's a 2-man stun, but they should be able to take him down. Ultra kill for Burning. And IG, despite giving away the Aegis, wins the fight after that. And the net worth exchange very in favorable of IG.
They were able to kill the Tinker at the start of the fight. That was huge. Coming out from, I think, Burning to eliminate him at the start of the fight. And
how did they even find him?
Blink Omni Slash did the trick.
Okay.
And they also forced out the BKB from Sven really early on. OP was threatening a steal.
Okay.
If you go in there, he was chainsed up at the moment, and he was like, I don't want to deal with this. So he BKB'd nothing preemptively to try and prevent the Roshan from getting stolen. But IG actually didn't go for the Roshan play at all.
Yeah.
They just killed everyone on the outside and then just dealt with Sven later with the hard control from the RP and the Mass Suns. That skewer was also big. The skewer as he's respawning so that he has no chance of blinking away. Pretty nice.
Alliance as a team, I think historically, generally very, I guess, bad around the Roshan pit. Like, they do lose a large percentage of their fights near the pit, and it's really hard to attribute to,
That DD,
why.
dude. Maybe OP went for the bait. He's like, I'm going to die to give them the DD, so they go into road, so we wipe
okay,
them.
that is all according to Keikaku.
I don't know what that means.
Keikaku means
can you explain it
plan.
to
All
anime?
according to my plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm an anime novice.
I mean, then
I'm like
that was a double layer meme that you just missed out.
I'm like Alliance around the Roach Pit when it comes to anime.
Well, I mean, you know, we could all get better.
Enlighten me, sir.
You don't explain.
Dude,
this.
how many Dragon Prowlers has he got in this game? Every time the Dragon Prowler, there's more than one type of cape that could spawn there.
Loda will find himself yet another double damage rune.
Okay, he was hitting for 600. Did his DD run out towards the end? I don't really
think so.
remember.
I think so. Yeah, his DD did.
And
run.
God Strength possibly.
Yeah. Okay, so talk to me about Juggernaut's SMY, because normally we see Manta Diffusal always.
Dude, it's good at kiting Sven. You don't want to man fight this Sven. You will just deal with him after everyone else is dead.
Hold that thought here. RPU, skewer backwards, no chance for a steal. And now, of course, he does have the BKB, but not if he gets completely chain disabled on the backline. OP cleans up. Jonas, oh, the glimpse back! They're going to find him way here. Jonas left and right he goes, but he is still within the base.
Damn, that was I have no idea how Q saw that coming. That was the most preemptive glimpse ever. Like, what on earth? I guess he just knows that Yoda Fan is a sick clockwork and was going to go for that hook shot.
Yeah. And you know what? That team fight convinced me when you said he has no hesitation with that RP.
Yeah,
dude, he just went for it.
The guy's really good at RP.
There's
what
no beating around the bush, you know. He just went out and did it.
He doesn't care if it's a one-man RP. He knows that if he gets an RP, they're going to win the fight because it's very difficult for him to actually BKB that. Even if he does BKB that, he might still die.
He takes the Omni Slash. He
takes the Omni Slash and he doesn't get his Warcry off.
That was the most Shia LaBeouf inspired moment that I've seen in a while. So well done here by XSS. And they're not done here. IG, again, as I pointed out with the network graph, it's just been a one-way show. Loda blinks forward, pre-activating that BKB. They'll get a Q. Q laughing his way home to the bank right now. I could guarantee you that because
he bought his Shadow Amulet before. And
you got a BKB.
Yeah, you got a BKB charge. And God Strength. Well, time to farm some neutrals with that God Strength. There's more Dragon Prowlers. Ancient Prowlers. Somebody check that spawn rate.
Okay, we're going to see a Abyssal Blade coming out. Kite the Sven. That is the name of the game. And I feel like Sven is getting to a point where he is live and die by his BKB activation. And from what we've seen so far in this game, Loda has either been too trigger happy or too slow.
The bottom fight, I don't think is too slow. It's really hard to...
Or the bottom fight, he just got changed then, so that wasn't even slow.
Yeah, bottom fight wasn't too slow. It's more so he's trigger happy because he is scared of the RP. That's
right.
That's the thing that Magnus brings to the table. You're just constantly scared of just getting RP'd and dying. And what are you going to do? Pop Warcry preemptively? You'll probably still die to magic damage. And if you don't pop Warcry, you're going to die to Omni Slash. And if you don't pop PKB, you just die anyways. So Loda has a really tough call ahead of him as to how and when to pop his BKB, especially as it gets lower and lower in terms of duration.
Yeah, a couple of things that the rest of Alliance can do to help out is to grant vision, right? Whether it's the Rocket Flare or having good wards around the Roshan area. If Loda could see the positioning of that Magnus, then he could have a little bit more preemptive time to either prepare to, let's say, activate the Warcry, like you said, or activate that BKB at the right time. But
they just have to be as quick as IG are. You have to be able to hook shot or lift him right as he blink RPs in. There is a little bit of
that is a small window, man.
Yo, that's what you have to do. XSS, he goes for the blink RP. He doesn't even care about the stun on RP. He just wants it. He just needs like half a second for him to land a skewer.
Okay, they did get a lift up on OP, but of course OP is going to be a hard one to catch here.
You know what they can do is Lotus Orb him up, Lotus Orb and Glimmer Cape him, and Solar Crest as he's sieging. This way he doesn't have to worry about casting the spells himself. He can use that after the RP, and then if you have Lotus, or let's just say Glimmer plus Solar, because that's probably more likely. Then if you get Epied, you have the Glimmer, and then if you get Omni'd, you have the Solar Crest.
I mean, that's assuming that XSS does not push him away from your team, right? Which
no, you do it as he's sieging the tower.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's how you need to deal with it. You can't allow him to die like that. So now he has a little bit innate evasion because of the halberd.
Right.
But he still has to deal with the epicenter, which did slay him in the last fight. Or you have to find this Magnus. Or Swagnus, as I like to call it.
Look, the Swag King himself has been looked for, but
he has Shadow Blade now. Oh my goodness.
You can't find him. First, you gotta catch him.
Oh, he's going for Octarine Core. Wow, screw the refresher. Octarine Core.
Yeah. Huh. More Midas, more RPs, more Empower. You can empower your whole team now, or at least the most important people on Q.
You can empower Sand King now.
Got him.
Wow.
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 Q the LD. Wow.
You need to be able to. Casters need to be able to use those chat wheels.
I mean, it can get obnoxious.
Is he going to get 15 armor or 500 scooter range at level 25 if it gets there?
Is there a such thing as too much skewer? Too much barbecue? I think
too much barbecue is not a bad thing.
I think
armor only helps for Sven though, and Sven's been kited pretty well as we've seen from a lot of the fights. So I don't know.
It doesn't feel like he needs the extra.
Dude, imagine if Loda gets skewered. How much range away? 1,700 range away from the
Too much range away.
Well, and then you have to count the little bit of distance that he gets from the RP turning. So that's like 2,000 range away from his team. That's hard to deal with. Clockwork maybe can get in, but he might just die too.
I mean, let's see what he picks up.
And looks like Sven is doubling down on evasion.
Yeah.
Heaven's Halberd plus the talent.
I mean, this is where the change to the Solar Crest would help out a little bit here.
Yep. Now a little bit. Yeah, he has 40% evasion. That's
a lot of evasion.
I think it's at that territory where it is actually going to be more useful than it was before. However, MKB maybe looking to be bought soon by someone. Burning looks like he's going for an Abyssal Blade next.
So it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
So, you know, actually, now that we talked about the whole evasion thing, maybe the extra, like, 1,700 skewer range might be good because, sure, you could evade some stuff, but if you are so far away from the team, you're just running, right? You're not really going to be able to man fight.
Yeah, I don't think Loda's going to be able to hit the Magnus. That's not really who you want to hit because if you're too close to him, you're just going to get RP'd.
Yep.
But XSS does not have BKB. He is farming at an incredible pace, though. Look at his net worth. Yeah.
He's on point.
90 GPM plus Midas.
And the cooldown for the Midas, let's not forget.
Yeah. They'd really need to buff that strength talent next to the gold per minute because every single Magnus that I've seen is just taking gold per minute. Doesn't matter position. Support, carry, off lane, mid, gold per minute is king. Relative to 12 strength, even though you double dip because of Empower. So now that Abyssal Blade is up, Tinker is in a really tough spot. How do you actually deal with this as a Tinker? You could just not get caught.
I mean, I think Lotus Orb is perhaps one of the way. Of course, it does not actually block the stun, but stunning the Juggernaut for 2 seconds is also decent. And if, God forbid, if Omni Slash does fly out, then we're gonna have a very nice DBZ moment. Then you're literally dodging everything during that duration. So maybe a good Lotus Orb here from one of his friends.
Yeah, they definitely need a Lotus. And it looks like Burning is going to start on Roche. Drops the Healing Ward. He isn't powered up. He does a fair amount of damage, about 300 right now. And it looks like the Scout is coming out right now. Does Burning care? He does not care.
Well, the rest of Alliance is coming in fast. But perhaps walking into a trap, or perhaps not even coming fast enough. Loda, let's see how good his BKB timing is. They check the Roche HP, still at half HP. Burning not ticking him down that fast. And it seems like IG's had enough of it.
Ooh.
The fake back.
The fake back. Are they going to make a play on the Shrine right here? The Shrine is up. Handskin is out to pop. Oh my god, are they next leveling with a right wraparound?
Dude,
what on
disrespect
earth?
that Shrine. Don't care about the Shrine. In fact, double in fact, but they find nothing because Limb is glimmered.
Where's the detection? Use your dust!
Where's the pop?
Dude, that is so awkward that they went onto Limp and he just glimmer capes away.
But Limb's blinks on cooldown.
Yeah,
right?
but he is so glimmer caped and they have no detection.
All right, check on detection. Do they have no detection at all?
There is one sentry ward on Q.
Okay.
And he didn't pop it. He didn't press his Q or press his sentry ward. So maybe he did have issues there because if they drop a sentry ward right there and they jump Q, or sorry, they jump Limp, the fight is heavily in IG's favor. But that was a cool smoke wraparound.
Yep.
They faked back. Alliance sensed the smoke fake back, and they next leveled it by anticipating that they were going to be on the Shrine and wrapped around to the right. That was smart.
I mean, you could say that Alliance anticipated it, but I don't think the plan is for Tinker to be the one getting...
No, they didn't anticipate the right. They didn't anticipate the smoke around to the right side.
Oh, you're saying IG one up on the next level. Okay.
The next level, dude.
All right.
Alliance are still in the previous level, man.
I mean, I think if you next level so much, you previous leveled it. But
ideally they should have gotten the Limp. Ideally they should have gotten a Limp kill. They have a dust, or sorry, they have a sentry. So that should have been pretty easy for them, but I think Q is having issues.
The Q has some problem with his keyboard, so we are having it quick fixed.
He is unhappy. Look at him. He's like, I know we should have gotten this kill.
Yeah. Maybe he's just feeling himself about that glimpse back on Clockwork. That was kind of hype, you know?
That was super hype.
Yeah.
The thing is, if he doesn't hookshot there, and he just glimpses him, he doesn't actually lose anything. It's not like they weren't going to really use glimpse for one more. That was style though.
That was next level on the next level. That's truly it.
I like all these next levels that we're getting in this game.
Oh, the Yankee cap here from Jonas.
How does it feel to get glimpsed back during the hook shot?
I mean, he's not feeling himself. Like, look at the expression. All right, here we go. Limp on the run here, and he's running away right now. BKB is activated. Oh my god. Styling! Here's a dig on for you, and I'm out.
But Boca is still going to find him.
This is not a good positioning for either team here. Oh no! Dodging away here, and it looks like they're going to go themselves for a hand skin kill. One kill on the backside here, Q. RP has been used. Skewer away here, and now Omni Slash flying on top of the creeps a little bit. Loda activating the BKB, activating the God Strength, and the Man Fight pursued, but the Healing Ward allowing Burning to take the 1v1. At the end of the day, they get a 2-for-0 engagement.
That was really unlucky for Burning. His creep bounced, and then it just got out. His Omni Slash bounced to a creep, and it got right outside of range of to bounce back on Loda.
Right.
And they weren't able to get +1. Regardless, looks like they still will be able to get Roshan. I don't know about this. They don't have RP up or Epicenter or anything. I see no green lights.
Just bought back, but OP though, running that cog block, making sure nothing is going inside the Roshan pit. Nice barrel strike. He goes in. Oh, he's going to get the steal. No, Burning already snatched the Aegis. XSS, okay, he's invis up. Nobody see him. Burning on the back line kills the tanker. Blinking forward. They want Jonas. They know that he just bought back, and this is going to be a dieback. Burning, letting him know we got the bash.
This is IG's bread and butter. The Magnus plus Ember plus Juggernaut. And they are just so refined in this sort of strategy that it's just another day in the office for them.
It really is. Like, it seems like all of these games, even against their series against VGJ, they were just behind in the early game, but it seems like always, late game when it comes to team fight, when it comes to finding the right initiation, IG has got it on lockdown. And I think this is definitely a championship quality when you win these late game fights, when you find the right initiation.
Yep, Burning's been beyond godlike for like a good 10, 15 minutes now.
He was born beyond
kills.
godlike.
And
okay, double stun up here onto the Ember Spirit. The Chain Sun's good. They got themselves a kill.
Is that worth losing your T3 for?
And a BKB charge on Loda. They will get the tier 3, I believe, and back. Because both Clockwork and Tinker are coming back alive. So the rest of IG will probably take a shrine or two.
Clockwork is up if they want to take an engagement, but as you mentioned, the trigger-happy BKB usage by Sven just does not allow them to really take this sort of fight. Do they really want to go without a smoke and without a BKB on Sven? I don't think so.
Without God Strength, too. I'm not sure whether they really need that extra damage.
Looks like Sven will be going for a Bloodthorn next, so he can lock down his Ember. Bad news is Ember Spirit already has Lincoln Sphere, and he has a cheese on top of that.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Might be time for them to buy a gem on the side of IG so they don't have to deal with Glimmer Capes or Observer Wards.
Yep, they got one on Boboga already.
Yep.
So they're on point. They know what it takes to get the victory.
I am curious as to why Magnus went for Octarine over the
the refresher.
Yeah. There are a lot of benefits. You have more uptime on your Shadow Blade, which is pretty important. Less cooldown on RP, obviously, because that is, I guess, their main ultimate that they're waiting for in the big fights.
I mean, let me throw the question back at you. If you land an RP on Sven, do you just win the fight?
Well, they did.
I think pretty much, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
as long as it doesn't get stolen, I would say.
So one RP is, I say, all you need for XSS.
Yeah, as long as you find someone to deal with the Tinker. But Burning has just been absolutely on point in dealing with the Tinker. He just gets blinks on and just dies every single time. And Tinker, you can't buy Diffuse, you can't buy Yules, you'll get purged off. You can't buy Ghost Scepter, it'll get purged off. You just have to rely on good positioning. And Yonism fan out in no man's land, and that is a dead CW.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, IG just a little bit better in the late game. Yeah, a little bit better translate into one team fights, accruing on gold and net worth advantage.
Yep. Magnus is almost on par with net worth with the Sven. That is disgusting.
I am surprised that Burning isn't going for a True Strike item. He's going for Butterfly
Yo,
instead.
he's relying on the cleave, dude. Who
yeah?
cares about Sven and his Warcry if he can just attack anyone else?
All right. Maybe that's the ultimate game plan here.
Yeah, he's going for Butterfly next. Stacks a lot better with the Empower,
Yep.
but not very good versus double evasion.
Okay, Burning. Losing a lot of that health OP. Missing a combo, really. On the backline, Sven gets Jules up. He does have the BKB. Nicely done, but he's now Abyssal, so that BKB controlled. XSS thinking about the RP.
Nah, AGM's way too close for him on RP.
Oh, so they go for Skewer instead. Loda now caught away from his team. Okay, pretty good control on Burning. Burning still has the Aegis. He's spinning away. Breaking the call. The RP is going to be there. Stolen RP by EGM. 3-man RP on the way back, but they have no damage. Loda is already dead. The rest of IG controlling Alliance. Tinker trying to make some plays, but Jonah gets calling back again. IG looking to sweep Alliance out of this tournament with this play. Burning back alive now, and they're just going for the straight throne. No buyback at all from Alliance.
Okay, I like that play from XSS. I don't even need the RP, right? I'll just go for the Blink Skewer. What are you going to do about it, Rubik?
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about 2 RPs with a refresher. You'd be like, nah, dude.
I don't need RP.
Bruh, 1 is all I need. The most important one. And, you know, you sold me on this XSS Magnus.
Yo, that 4-sap RP, yeah, he stole it, but they got the kills that they wanted.
Yep.
Tinker is... Yep.
GG comes out.
Skewered out of the tournament, bro.
Barbecue out of the tournament. They are on that grill, toasted and burned.
Let's listen to the crowd for a little bit.
Yep. Feeling happy for themselves. That means IG will move on. They are going to be playing on the Sunday finals. And unfortunately for the Swedish fans of Alliance, they are out of the tournament.
But looking forward, we do have one more best of 3 to entice you guys. And yep, so now we have 3 of the 4 teams for our playoff bracket. We have TNC and IG and Team Liquid.
Yep. Of course, coming up next, we have Vega versus Newbie, and that should be a very exciting match as well. But Ben, before we send it back to the analyst table, just give us a quick wrap of why is IG winning the series against Alliance?
Firstly, they're playing a lot better than day number 1. Day number 1, their teamwork was just terrible.
Right.
And they seemed at a loss as to what to do. This game was a strat that we've seen before from IG, but their teamwork was a lot better. I'd say in game number 1, 2, they found their stride, and I would say they're drafting a lot better. They had the Razor to deal with the Troll.
That was smart.
That we saw. Yeah, that was very, very smart. And this game, the item build coming out from the Juggernaut, I think, was what really made it for me in dealing with the Sven, because generally that matchup is seen as very unfavorable for the Juggernaut.
I think they also picked the Magnus.
They picked Magnus.
That was also very smart. But of course, we'll see what the analysis from the table will be like. Let's send it back to Nahaz and the boys.
Back at the Starliner I-League Invitational panel, exuberance from the crowd as Chinese hopes are alive. Hometown favorite IG move on. They will face up against Liquid tomorrow in the first of our semifinal series. Bringing back my 4-man panel one more time. Guys, Burning throughout his career, player that is known primarily for his Anti-Mage, he actually has twice as many Juggernaut wins as AM. 65 Juggernaut wins. That was his 99th career game on the hero, and he delivers big time. 15 kills, 6 assists as IG dominate.
Not much to say about Burning this game, even in the previous one. I think Alliance lacked a better draft in both games, and their execution was not so good. Again, one more time, IG building up to that 1 point where they're just so secure to go into the base and just finish the game.
This was a comfort strategy for IG. You could see maybe why this might feel a little bit outdated on this patch. They did get punished a little bit early on in lanes. There are also some maybe uncharacteristically sloppy plays from OP here or there as well. But ultimately, again, like even if Alliance do well in lanes, I feel like in terms of big picture game plan, there's some uncertainty there. And as far as finding the advantages to close out this game, as far as, you know, obviously XXS with another great performance on the Magnus, just being able to hit those key ults at certain times, I feel like Alliance is a little bit lacking in some areas, a little bit further behind some of these other teams, and this was very apparent in this series.
Yeah, now 12-3 are IG with the Juggernaut Magnus pairing since the release of 7.0. 2 heroes that they're very comfortable with. They're going to have to go up against Liquid tomorrow. Cap, what do you think about that matchup? Because Liquid yesterday looked sensational.
Yeah, I think IG can stand up to them. I think all teams should ban away Magnus in the 3-4. almost guaranteed, simply because there are too many combination heroes to go with Magnus in this current patch. Troll, Ursa, Juggernaut, even Lifestealer to certain extents, all very powerful heroes in this patch, so it just kind of works to IG's favor really well if they're able to pick that up as a third. So I think that was probably a little bit of a drafting error by Alliance. Other than that, I don't know, it just looked like IG was performing a bit better today.
I would agree. Let's actually talk a little bit more about this particular game, because we are going to wait on the post-game interview. We'll take you over there as usual when that starts. I know it's a little bit abrupt, but we're kind of at the mercy of the Chinese production team. Guys, so one of the things you noticed in the early game, Limp's Tinker got off to this just monster start in lane, but they weren't able to capitalize, despite the fact the lane went against OP, and as Jack said, there were some pretty clear execution errors by the Ember Spirit, yet Alliance was not able to make the most of this massive advantage on their Tinker. Why do you think that was?
Well, even if they get kills, they don't have that push power. All right, they have Jakiro, but if Sven ulti is down, Rubik, Clockwork, they don't do any tower damage. Also, they have a good anti-push on IG. I'm just not feeling Alliance are going towards objectives. Like they had what was the score at the end of the game?
It wasn't good.
I mean, they had good
32-16.
Well, I mean, it's still good, 16 kills. But it's pretty much one-sided game actually.
It was pretty low kills early on. Most of those 32 kills on behalf of IG was just when Burning started to go crazy after reaching critical mass early in the game. Are you ready to revise your thoughts on Disruptor? I thought Disruptor in a couple of engagements was actually pretty decent against the Clockwork, that once again had a pretty good game.
Yeah, Q actually had a pretty good Disruptor game. I'm not ready to change my opinion on the hero just yet. I think 1-2 is still a little bit jumping the gun, but we shall see. I think it's definitely in combination with Sand King, it makes it a lot better. Magnus also kind of covers some of the weak points of the Disruptor, mostly because it's really tough to push into both of those heroes, right? They're such good, strong teamfight initiators, Magnus in particular, being able to change the positioning of a hero. That's why, they had this Sven, and it was one of the relatively early times where Alliance kind of grouped up, and I think they tried to push in that mid tower, and they got that really good skewer and RP coming out from XXS. I think that those kind of moments, it's so difficult to be able to push into those kind of heroes, and it makes Disruptor a lot better for it, just because if you know the enemy team can't really be offensive into you, then you have the weakness kind of covered, right? You don't want to be overwhelmed as a Disruptor.
Yeah, and as you see the comparison here between the two veteran carries, great careers in both cases. Really, Loda having that TI championship, the only difference. The Sven, I thought, played pretty solid for most of the game, but it just felt like the Juggernaut behind his team got to critical mass. And as we've said about IG many times, they just identify, they have a very clear picture of, we're going to get to this point, and we need this much advantage, and then we're just going to end the game.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like Alliance is playing with that kind of strategic focus, at least not right now.
I like the fact that they never seem to jump the gun, and they never push too early, and they also never dawdle. Well, once they've reached their peak, then they just go and end it. They don't oh, but what about this other item that I need that's not important, right? I think they're very good at being able to recognize their timings to the closest perfection I've seen from almost any other team. That seems to be, I think, their biggest strength, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. I must mention one problem that Alliance had in the previous game. I don't think they killed even one healing ward from Juggernaut, and that healing ward just demolishes a hero like THD and Tinker.
Yeah, there's damage over time, especially Tinker. The ability of, especially when we saw that faceless draft, of being able to constantly throw out this damage without commitment. Juggernaut just is any kind of really good sustain lineups are going to be able to counter that.
There's some other things too, like the Disruptor. We always talk about playing from ahead or behind, but the Disruptor, if he's able to get off his spells, is the type of hero that can force you to need to commit to a fight, or you end up losing stragglers for free. And so, if he gets that ult off, if he gets the kinetic field off, you're in a tough position for Alliance, because at the same time, if you are forced into a fight, you have the Magnus, obviously great at just isolating and locking down one core, great at getting people out of position, great at counter initiating, and like the synergy there was pretty apparent. And then another game from XXS where even on this offline hero, he seems to always be able to avoid dying. Even if you're hunting for him and trying to shut him down, he still gets off those crucial
What
ults.
is his secret? What's the book on this kid? Because it just, his offlane play feels so distinctive to me in that he's not like a flashy guy that can necessarily create something from nothing like Universe early on in the game, but he just flat out does his thing, and then boom, wins you the game.
I mean,
He's got those instincts, man. Those
it's amazing.
initiator instincts. Some people just have it. I think I want to piggyback on what you were saying, Jack. I think the combination of like Disruptor and
I'm going to break in here. I believe that this is our XXS, our offlaner. We're going to have this interview from IG.
He's currently 17 and I'm 37. So that was one hell of a match just now. Yeah, and yesterday you guys lost on the first round, and what was the team atmosphere like after the defeat yesterday? We discussed after the loss, and as we watched the replay, the laning phase was a bit of a problem for us, and our communication was a lot better today. As a new patch comes along, everybody needs time to adjust and adapt. And the defeat yesterday probably didn't affect your confidence too much, especially after the victory today. Did you guys prepare any special strategies? We were pretty lost at the beginning of this patch. We had no idea what would work well, and we didn't really know what heroes to pick. And it seems like it's pretty hard to get some insane farm. And it seems like everyone's still looking for the perfect combination. You guys have a veteran Burning on the team, and you're the youngest player on the team. What do you think are some of the pros and cons of a veteran player as to a new player? He has a lot of experience, and he leads the team well. And during crucial moments, we will all listen to him. At the beginning, my mechanics are pretty good, so my laning phase generally are goes pretty well. So in conclusion, Burning has a loud voice. So tomorrow you have a really crucial match in the semifinals. And what are your predictions for tomorrow? We'll probably get 2-0 by Liquid. 好的，那就这样吧。那我们这个稍事休息回来之后，将是下一场精彩的比赛，会由 Newbie 来对阵 Vega。我们一会儿见。
Well, there is XXS from IG. Maybe not expressing confidence against Liquid tomorrow, but I think they play like they did today. They're going to be just fine. So 3 out of 4 series today are in the books. One last semifinalist to be decided. Coming up next, Vega Squadron will face up against Newbie for that 4th and final spot in tomorrow's semifinals and the lion's share of our $100,000 prize pool. We're going to take a break. We'll switch up for the panel, and we will be right back for Vega versus Newbie. Stay tuned.